Hey, welcome. Today we're going to get into something really fascinating. An ancient science, really. A whole framework for one of the biggest human quests there is, the pursuit of happiness.
You know the feeling, right? We chase after something, a goal, a new gadget, some kind of experience, thinking, this is it. This will finally make me happy. And sure, for a little while, it does. But then, it just fades. And we're right back where we started, looking for that next hit. It's a treadmill, and honestly, it can be pretty exhausting. So what if this very modern feeling problem isn't actually modern at all? What if there's a 2,000-year-old text from ancient India, the Bhagavad Gita, that lays out a ridiculously sophisticated map of joy? A map that, believe it or not, modern science is only just now starting to prove right. And it all starts with one powerful idea. Yeah, the Gita's entire framework for how we experience happiness hangs on this one concept, the three gunas. You can think of them as these three basic forces or qualities of nature that are always influencing everything we think, feel, and do. So these three qualities are called Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and they're constantly swirling around inside us, mixing together in different amounts, and basically coloring our entire personality, all our choices, and especially how we perceive happiness. The text says there isn't a single person on earth who is free from them. Okay, so let's break them down. First up, you've got Sattva. That's the mode of goodness, harmony. It leads to this feeling of clarity, of peace, and ultimately to real, lasting fulfillment. Then there's Rajas. This is all about passion, frantic activity. It gives you that feeling of craving and restlessness. The result? A quick hit of pleasure that always ends in pain. And finally, we have Tamas. This is inertia, ignorance. It feels like laziness, delusion, and it just leads to deeper and deeper misery. So according to the Gita, every single type of happiness we feel fits into one of these three buckets. All right, let's start with the one that pretty much all of us know inside and out, Rajasic happiness. This is the happiness of doing, of chasing, of pure sensory pleasure. It's the thrill of it all. The Gita just nails the description here with some beautiful poetry. It says this kind of joy is like nectar at first, but like poison in the end. I mean, wow. Think about it. That amazing meal, that brand new phone, the likes rolling in on social media, it feels so good in the moment. But what comes next? And here is where it gets absolutely incredible. This ancient diagnosis lines up perfectly with modern neuroscience. Psychologists today call this exact thing hedonic adaptation, or the hedonic treadmill. We get that awesome spike of pleasure, that dopamine hit, but our brain chemistry adjusts almost immediately. We go right back to our baseline happiness level, and now we need an even bigger hit next time to get the same feeling. It's literally a cycle of diminishing returns. The nectar becomes poison. Okay, next up is Tamasic happiness. Now, this one's a little trickier, and according to the Gita, it's actually way more dangerous. This is the happiness that comes from just not doing anything, from avoidance. And the text doesn't pull any punches here. This is the happiness, and I'm using air quotes here, that we get from procrastinating, from sleeping in way too late, or from just binge-watching an entire series to avoid dealing with our actual lives. It's a happiness that's born from delusion, from totally checking out. And you guessed it, modern science has a term for this too. It's called experiential avoidance, the habit of trying to run away from difficult thoughts, and even when you know that running away just makes things worse in the long run. It feels like a safe harbor, but it's a false one, and it's directly linked to higher rates of depression and anxiety. The key insight here is that what feels like comfort right now actually digs us into a deeper hole over time. So, if Rajasic happiness is basically a trap, and Tamasic happiness is a total delusion, where does that leave us? Where do we find that real, stable, lasting fulfillment? Well, the Gita points us to the third path, Sattvic happiness. And just check out the beautiful symmetry here. This is the complete opposite of Rajasic happiness. This is the stuff that feels like poison at first, but is like nectar in the end. This is the joy that comes from putting in the work, from discipline, from purifying the mind. The modern science parallel? It's the concept of delayed gratification, resisting that small, immediate reward for a much bigger one later. Think about the grind of studying for a huge exam, or training for a marathon, or learning to play an instrument. It's tough at first. Researchers also have a newer term for this, psychological richness, which is a kind of well-being that you get from having complex, perspective-shifting experiences.
To really make this click, ancient scholars use this perfect analogy, the Indian gooseberry, which is called amla. Now, if you've ever had one, you know that when you first bite into it, it's super bitter, really sharp. You kind of want to spit it out. That's the poison. But then, as you keep chewing, this amazing deep sweetness starts to come through, and it just lingers on your palate. That initial bitterness, that's the discipline, the hard work. And that sweet aftertaste, that's the deep, stable joy that follows.
So how do we actually get more of this in our lives? The framework gives us some really practical ideas. It starts with just being mindful about what you consume, the media you watch, the food you eat, the conversations you have. Are they actually nourishing you or just giving you a cheap thrill? It means leaning into disciplined practices, like working out or learning a new skill, things that are hard at the beginning but build this incredible sense of competence. It means learning to embrace constructive discomfort, knowing that nothing meaningful comes easy. And maybe the most important one, it means shifting your focus away from what can I get to what can I give.
But the rabbit hole goes deeper. The Gita suggests that even this highest form of worldly happiness, this sattvic joy, is really just the warm-up act. It cleans the lens of our mind, getting us ready to perceive something way, way bigger. Other ancient texts, like the Upanishads, basically say that our absolute peak moment of joy is just a single drop in an endless ocean of bliss. I'm not kidding. These texts actually lay out what you could call a calculus of bliss. It's a kind of spiritual mathematics designed to help our little human brains even begin to grasp the sheer scale of joy that's possible. So to build this scale, they start by defining what 1 unit of human bliss even is. And get this, they say imagine the absolute best life possible. A young, super healthy, virtuous, brilliant person who literally owns the entire planet and all of its riches. Okay, you got that perfect life in your head? Well, that's just 1 unit, the starting point. From that one single unit, the scale just goes vertical. The next level of beings up, these celestial artists, experience a bliss that is 100 times greater than our perfect life. The level after that, 100 times greater still. That's 10,000 times our peak happiness. And this ladder just keeps going up into numbers that are just staggering to think about. But here is the most mind-blowing, most revolutionary part of the whole thing. The texts say, you don't have to die and be reborn as some celestial being to feel this. There's another way in, a path that is available to every single one of us, right here, right now. And that path is through wisdom and learning to let go of desire. This quote just puts it all in perspective. It says that all the pleasures in this world, and even all the crazy pleasures of the heavens, they don't even add up to a tiny fraction of the bliss you feel from one thing, the extinction of craving. It's telling us that the ultimate joy isn't found in getting more, it's found in wanting less. And that leaves us with this final massive question to chew on. This ancient science is suggesting that our entire idea of what happiness is just the first tiny step on an infinite ladder. So if that's true, it makes you wonder, what incredible states of being, what unbelievable levels of joy are we truly capable of?